Pedroza has a 4-inch reach advantage. Again, the 10-point must system. The referee and 2 judges do the scoring. 3 knockdown rule is in effect. Mandatory 8 count. No saving by the bell except in round 15. And the crowd into it right off the bat. McGuigan is normally the quicker starter. And a lot of people think for him to win the fight, he'll have to knock Pedroza out. It's not necessarily the only way he can win the fight, but it would seem to be his best chance. Pedroza normally starts slowly, even though he's showing good footwork here and good movement in the first round. But he's a man who really excels in what they call the championship rounds, 11 through 15. He's sticking that left jab in there right off the bat. Both men with excellent left hooks. Both work well to the body. The harder puncher would probably be McGuigan. Through the years, the attrition may have cost Pedroza a little bit of zip. So he's not the kind of guy who will knock you out with one punch. McGuigan landing with his first hook. The other stigma that follows Pedroza around is the fact that he fouls a lot. Low blows, elbows, shoulders. He gets away with everything he can, and there is the first warning from Stanley Christodoulou. His reputation precedes him, and the crowd booing him right off the bat. 20-foot ring in London. Pedroza landing a decent right hand. Pedroza very active here in this first round. Using the ring. More movement than you might expect from him early on. McGuigan had hoped to set the pace, control the tempo in round 1. Pedroza sticking that left, still moving. McGuigan trying to cut off the ring, but Pedroza not letting him. Bouncing off the ropes. The left, and again tying him up, and that's where he likes to use those elbows when he can. Getting inside. Good infighter. Uses the bolo punch when he can. Good uppercutter. First round action. 30 seconds remaining in round 1. WBA Featherweight Championship. McGuigan trying to close off the ring. Getting Pedroza momentarily in the corner. So many of these people are so far from the ring that anything McGuigan throws looks like it lands. So you'll hear a lot of response to everything as the first round comes to a climax. Second round in London, the WBA Featherweight Championship. Eusebio Pedroza. In the red trunk, Barry McGuigan in blue. Pedroza. Good movement. He was off balance there and started to stumble. And again, so much of the crowd so far away, it begins to look as if he was going down. And they respond. But nothing of the sort. Simply off balance momentarily. Again, trying to stick that right hand in there. Both men known for their left hooks. Especially to the body. McGuigan is a great body puncher. Likes to move that left up and down. But Pedroza could be the all-time master at it, at least among the current champions. Pedroza showing lots of movement in the first 2 rounds, but McGuigan pursuing him, not letting him rest. We talked about the fact some people thought that McGuigan needs a knockout to win this. If nothing else, he needs a big early lead, you would figure. Because history tells you that Pedroza is so tough, 11 through 15. And McGuigan has never gone more than 10. In fact, most of McGuigan's fights, all but 4, have ended in knockouts, whereas Pedroza has been going the distance now for a number of years. In fact, his last knockout in a championship fight was back in 1981. Everything else has gone to limit. Good right hand. McGuigan, the aggressor here in round 2. Pedroza trying to uppercut, but McGuigan stalking him. Again, trying to cut down the ring, and again he's able to get inside, though that left hand was partially picked off by Pedroza. McGuigan's face already reddened. Pedroza showing no marks. McGuigan again landing a good right hand. Pedroza comes back with that left, followed by that right uppercut inside. And again, he likes to use those elbows, likes to use those shoulders. Into the second round. Third round now in London for the WBA Featherweight Championship. Barry McGuigan fighting out of Belfast. And Eusebio Pedroza, who is defending his title for the 20th time, and he's also defending it in his 9th different country. He's been a soldier of fortune. Snapping left hand by Pedroza, keeping that left in there. Another left hand. So McGuigan in pursuit. He's been the more aggressive, but Pedroza, good movement in the first couple of rounds. And he's landed his share of left hands and a good right uppercut there. But McGuigan sticking that left. Still trying to get inside. Decent right hand, partially picked off by the right glove of Eusebio Pedroza. Pedroza, when he gets on the ropes, it's tough to keep him there. He grabs you and gets off. It's odd in a way when you look at Pedroza. He's an articulate man, a charming man, a dignified man, and yet he's known for rabbit punches, kidney punches, shoulders, elbows, and low blows. It's almost as if when Steve Garvey came to bat, somebody said he had cork in his bat. You just don't figure it to be when you look at the man. Stanley Christodoulou separating the two. The veteran referee from South Africa. Like to alert our local stations that at the end of this third round we'll take a station break. Pedroza tying him up after scoring, after getting in a couple of punches and then tying him up. Crowd chanting, "Here we go, here we go." They've been singing that for 4 hours here at the Queens Park Rangers football ground. And Pedroza easily escaping the corner. Low blow and a warning from Christodoulou to Pedroza. Pedroza still showing good movement here in round 3, and this bout scheduled for 15. McGuigan and Pedroza live from London. We'll be back with more of AB. Starting the fourth round, crowd is booing because the bell sounded, but Pedroza did not have his mouthpiece in. And Christodoulou was able to keep McGuigan away until Pedroza put it in. Fourth round. This will be a good test the way this one has started for the legs of Eusebio Pedroza, because he's exhibited tremendous stamina in the past. Normally finishes with a flourish, wins a lot of his fights with what he does in the latter round. But he's been forced, because of McGuigan, to move around quite a bit in the first 3. Crowd responding, but McGuigan's blows were missing. Pedroza with that 3-inch height advantage. And he's normally taller than most opponents. Likes to punch down on the shorter man if he can get the leverage. McGuigan coming off a big victory in Belfast over Juan Laporte, and really vaulted him into prominence, earned him this title shot in London. Laporte, the former WBC featherweight champion. And McGuigan won a 10-round decision, and there was no doubt about it. McGuigan working on the inside and working with some effectiveness inside as well. Working to the side of the head, but now counter-punching is Pedroza. Again, if he can find room for that uppercut, he loves to use it. About 45 seconds remaining here in round 4. McGuigan staying right with him in the infighting, where Pedroza normally excels, but McGuigan excels there as well. Two quite similar in many aspects. Both physically strong, good body punchers, both with a good left hook. 4th round scheduled for 15. WBA World Featherweight Championship. Pedroza trying to retain a crown he has held since 1978. And McGuigan with some good infighting here in the latter half of round 4. 5th round action now as we come to you live on ABC's Wide World of Sports from London. Close to 4 rounds, no major surprises. The expectations of many close to the sport were that this one would go all the way. Nobody expecting an early knockout. 5th round scheduled for 15. McGuigan, the pursuer. If you like aggression and forcing the action, then McGuigan has had the better of it in the first 4 rounds. But Pedroza has certainly landed his share of the blows. Very crafty, very savvy, very experienced, and this is what it, as we said at the beginning, would probably boil down to. The experience factor or the youth factor. Or is McGuigan getting his title shot too early? Is it too late for Pedroza? Those are the key questions going in. Again, the ever-present chanting and singing here in London. McGuigan has done most of his fighting in Belfast, and even though Pedroza likes to go on the road and he's not afraid to fight in the home country of the challenger, he felt that Belfast might be just a little too much, so they settled on London. So in essence, what they've done is move half of Belfast here by the sound of the crowd. Minute to go in round 5. Tough fight to score so far in the sense that, as are most fights, if there's a lot of infighting, if a lot of the scoring is done at close quarters, you oftentimes can see it in different manners. Good chopping left hand delivered by McGuigan that time, but Pedroza fighting back, and he lands a left in response with a half minute to go now in this, the 5th round. McGuigan still pursuing. McGuigan again with that left, but he has Pedroza backing away as he delivers it. So those blows are not landing with full effectiveness. 1/3 of the way through the bout as the 5th round comes to an end here in England. Round now, WBA Featherweight Championship, Eusebio Pedroza out of Panama. And Barry McGuigan fighting out of Belfast in Northern Ireland. Born in Clones. And if you saw the up close and personal we did on him before the fight, he a Catholic, his wife a Protestant. He has been a tremendous unifying symbol in his native land. One question that's been answered, basically, McGuigan has certainly not been overawed by being in there against Pedroza. There was some speculation in the local press here that he might be in over his head against the fabled champion. And with tremendous pressure on him, thinking about all of the people who have made the trek across the Irish Sea to be here. And of course, this is being telecast live throughout the United Kingdom. And the infighting continuing in the 6th round, and McGuigan doing very well, landing a good right hand. Pedroza bent over. McGuigan, the good left hook, uppercutting, taking a couple of pages out of the Pedroza book. And he, too, using his shoulder and his elbow and his forehead, and he is warned by Christodoulou. McGuigan, a boxing historian, loves to watch film footage of fighters, and no doubt he's picked up a few of Pedroza's tricks, having watched Eusebio oft-times on film. Minute to go in round 6. Good round for Barry McGuigan in a close fight. Good right by Pedroza, but McGuigan just shaking it off, still boring in. Final half minute of round 6. Pedroza, who may want to take a little rest during some of that infighting, but McGuigan is not letting him, not to this point in the bout. End of the 6th round. Seventh round scheduled for 15 here in London. Eusebio Pedroza defending. And Barry McGuigan trying to wrest the WBA featherweight championship before 25,000. It'll be the biggest gate in British boxing history. Ringside seats going for 100 pounds or about $128 to $130. It'll be the first million-pound gate in European boxing history. And all because of McGuigan and the support he's brought with him from the Irish Republic. Of course, it takes two to make a fight, and Eusebio Pedroza, certainly not unknown. And I'm sure the interest in the fight heightened, obviously, by the fact that not only is their man trying to win it for the Irish in McGuigan, but he'll do it against a legendary champion, if he can. As the singing continues, a little less action here in round 7 than we've had thus far. McGuigan has been the pursuer. That was a decent right hand thrown by Pedroza. But again, McGuigan has been able to shake off almost everything Eusebio has thrown to this point and still bores in after everything the champion throws. For our local stations, we will be taking a station break at the end of the 7th round, this round. Minute to go now in round 7. Pedroza, just like that. He gets up at the count of 3. Mandatory 8 count is in effect. He looked like he was in control. He was just coming off a good double left hook, and it McGuigan is pursuing him. McGuigan with another left hand. Pedroza backpedaling. Then left snaps his head back. McGuigan looking to work his way inside. We will be staying between rounds. Not have the station break. We'll stay between rounds as Pedroza tries to weather it. Another left hand. Another left follows. But Pedroza still shaking. Trying to last around up against the ropes. And there's the bell, which is barely audible. And Prestadoodle has to separate them. So Pedroza goes back to his corner. He had just delivered a good double left. And then all of a sudden, appearing to be in command at that point of the round, we will go back and take a look at the knockdown. The right hand and then the left and up against the ropes, and down goes Pedroza. So the right hand set it up, followed by the left. As we take a look at the overhead view right now, Pedroza bent over, routine posture for him. That right connected. That stunned him. And the left put him down. And so all of a sudden, Barry McGuigan assumes command here in round 7 in what has been a very close battle. McGuigan has certainly held his own. It's been a tough fight to score because of all of the infighting, and now all of a sudden, McGuigan controls the 7th round as we get set for round 8. Pedroza, as he was in the 1st and 2nd rounds, on his bicycle, moving around. But now it's a different story. He was fresh in the early rounds, and now it's a case of survival for him. Again, McGuigan has never gone more than 10. Pedroza very used to going 15, but not used to going down on the canvas. Pedroza trying to stick that left in there. His right hand getting through, but lacking the power. And again, he doesn't have that powerful a right to begin with. Pedroza aggressive here in round 8. Shaking off the effects of the knockdown and dictating the tempo of the 8th round. Pedroza working now on the body after going up top. So Pedroza able to weather that storm in round 7 and acquit himself quite capably and admirably here in round 8. But McGuigan comes back with a couple of left hands. That left hook. For our local stations, assuming we have no knockdowns, we will take a station break at the end of this round. Round 8, scheduled for 15. Chance of Barry. One of the things, of course, that would make a Pedroza a great champion is what he is exhibiting here in round 8. The fact that he goes down, hits the deck in the 7th, is in major trouble, and comes out and is fighting a very strong 8th round. That left hand by McGuigan looked a little better to the crowd than it did from ringside here. McGuigan trying to work up top as Pedroza goes to the body again. So the 8th round ending with infighting. And we'll be back with the WBA World Featherweight Championship after this from our local stations. Ninth round action now in London for the WBA Featherweight Championship. Good fight. Eusebio Pedroza, who has been down once. Barry McGuigan. Pedroza, unbeaten in 9 years. The champion for over 7. Longest reigning current champion. A reminder, next week, during this time period, our continuing coverage of the U.S. Open, which commences Thursday, from Bloomfield Hills, Michigan. 2 weeks on ABC's Wide World of Sports. The great Don Curry and Pablo Baez from Atlantic City. As Donald Curry's career rolls along. Pedroza landing that right hand. Had a good 8th round. A good start for him here in round 9. And again now, the longer this fight goes, you would figure the better chance Pedroza had, because he is so tough in rounds 11 through 15. McGuigan unknown past the 10th round because he's never been there. But McGuigan looking, all things considered, pretty fresh here in round 9. Pedroza is moving around. You never know right now, but he was down in round 7. They've taken that off completely. A couple of sticking left hands followed by a right to the body. And he's warned there for a kidney punch. Again, warnings nothing new to Pedroza. The Laporte camp contended that he committed 50 fouls in their 15-round bout a couple of years back. The Pedroza camp said, what about Laporte? How many did he commit? Warnings do not deduct points from the card. McGuigan landing a good right hand. Able to penetrate the defense. Follows it up with a left hand. But Pedroza sticks that left in the face of McGuigan and tries to tie him up and uses that right uppercut. Pouring in on him. Half a minute to go. 9th round in London. Here's an exchange in the middle of the ring. McGuigan trying to fight his way off the rope to the right and the left. And he hasn't hurt again. He's wobbling in the waning seconds of the 9th round. Pedroza wobbling. He's about to go down. And the bell. There's the bell. You can't hear it, but it's sounded. At the end of the 9th round. So all of a sudden, what it looked like Pedroza had totally shaken off the effects of what had taken place in round 7. Looked so good in round 8. Looked good at the outset of round 9. McGuigan is able to catch him at the end again. So Pedroza shaken once more. Again, the right hand. Snapping his head. This is with the left hand. And then following up on it. Off the ropes comes McGuigan. And the damage had been done at that point as he's trying to follow up. That telling with just a few seconds remaining, you can see the rubbery legs of Eusebio Pedroza, who was about ready to go, and is fortunate that he was that close to the end of the round. At least a couple of punches got in after the bell. With 25,000 screaming fans, Pedroza still on his stool, taking advantage of everything he possibly can. He can contend and he can't hear it, and all of a sudden he goes to his knees here at the outset of round 10. Christodoulou contending he was forced down, warned McGuigan for pushing him down as McGuigan keeps pursuing. But Pedroza is backpedaling here in round 10. Pedroza has his legs just not right at this particular point, not at all right, wobbling and rubbery as he backpedals toward the rope. McGuigan stalking him, pursuing him, snapping that left, trying to follow with a right. So Pedroza, the great champion, is really going to have to dig deep now if he's to pull this one out. 10th round. Not that he's that far behind necessarily in the card, because it's been very even up until the 7th, and he looked good in the 8th, but his legs look so rubbery right now. That's where he's going to have to dig deep. The singing again. Here we go, the singing from the capacity crowd at this soccer field in London. Pedroza trying to hold him off with that left jab, buying more time to fully recover. McGuigan still looking very fresh. And this is as far as he's gone now. And it's a distance he's gone only on a couple of occasions, as most of his fights have ended in knockouts. He's never been past the 10th round. Coming up on the 1-minute mark remaining in round 10. Pedroza's legs now appearing more steady at the end of round 10 than certainly they did at the beginning of round 10 when he came out level. He was down once in the 7th and nearly down in the 9th. So we're coming to the end of the 10th round in this WBA Featherweight Championship with a warning issued there to McGuigan in this bout scheduled for 15. Start of the 11th round. Eusebio, Pedroza, Barry McGuigan. So McGuigan, for the first time in his career, goes into the 11th. Pedroza has been there several times. Again, Eusebio has not knocked out an opponent in a championship fight since 1981. So he knows what it's like to win a decision, and he also knows what it's like to come from behind and win those last 5 rounds. What they call the champion's round. Again, he's been down once and nearly down a second time. McGuigan has not been close to going down. Fought well. He's been aggressive. He's pursued and held his own on the infighting. Mark now of round 11. Worth pointing out again now, 10-point must system, 2 judges, one from Denmark, the other from Venezuela, and the referee do the scoring, Stanley Christodoulou from South Africa. And as we said early on, if you think the judges can be influenced, and Pedroza slipped down. After the slip, slipped on a wet spot. If you think the judges would be influenced by the crowd solidly backing McGuigan as he gets warned again by Christodoulou, that would obviously be neutralized by the WBA being based in Panama with a Panamanian champion. Pedroza is able to look as good in these final 5 rounds as he normally does. He's got a real good shot to pull it out. Waning seconds here in round 11. Coming to you live from London, England, Pedroza and McGuigan. Round 12 now, live from London, where it's about 10:40 Saturday night, and it is now cold enough to see your breath at the Queen Park Rangers football ground. Biggest gate in European boxing history. Barry McGuigan trying to wrest the title from Eusebio Pedroza of Panama. to Pedroza, but Christodoulou has not taken points away from either man, despite numerous warnings, which is not uncommon in these two-man fight, especially in the case of Pedroza. Just one knockdown in the fight coming in the 7th, and then a near knockdown in the 9th round. In both cases, McGuigan stunning Pedroza. McGuigan again looking quite fresh, showing no signs of weariness. He's been fresh from the start. Pedroza landing a good right hand caught him. So Pedroza not necessarily landing a lot of spectacular punches. He really doesn't have that much punching power. McGuigan has more. But as was the case with that right hand, a good, effective blow. Stalking, but Pedroza able to angle back and angle away from the punches. Pedroza getting that right hand in again. And another right hand and tying him up. He's a master at that. He's done that through the years. 20th title defense, end of round 12 coming up. 13th round coming up. Barry McGuigan and Eusebio Pedroza for the WBA Featherweight Championship. This late in the fight, both men active, good movement. Remember, Pedroza's legs were so rubbery after he was shaken up in round 9. Again, another warning there for usage of the elbow by McGuigan. Pedroza, that right uppercut. Getting in. Pedroza, it goes without saying, obvious boxing skills, showing it, the savvy, the experience. He's been here before. He's been to the 13th on many occasions. And right now appears to be in command of this round. Round action. Good right by McGuigan. And Pedroza was shaken again. I left again. And he's backpedaling. His legs are rubbery. Pedroza may be ready to go again here in round 13. Christodoulou looking very, very closely. Keeping a very close watch on Pedroza, who's in a lot of trouble. McGuigan with another left hand. The crowd going insane here. Pedroza trying to tie him up. He's been down in the 7th. He was nearly down in the 9th. He's nearly down in the 13th. As McGuigan comes on with a real flourish. after Pedroza had looked so sharp early in round 13. 14th round now in London. Eusebio Pedroza trying to retain a WBA featherweight championship, but Barry McGuigan has had 3 outstanding rounds. 7, 9, and then 13, and again it's Pedroza going down, but the warning issued for the second time for the same infraction to McGuigan as Pedroza is able to come back with a good right hand. McGuigan has pushed him down. 14th round scheduled for 15. The Barry chant. Obviously, it would be a classic moment in Irish and British boxing history where McGuigan to wrest the crown from a great champion. Pedroza exhibiting many of the skills that he has in the past in those latter rounds, but not quite as sharp as he's been in recent fights. And if there was any question about the stamina of McGuigan and whether or not he could go past 10, he's answered that rather thoroughly. Coming up on a minute remaining in round 14, a right hand getting in. The 14th round. McGuigan with a right hand tries to follow it up, but again Pedroza is able to tie him up. But Pedroza is going to have to do more than tie McGuigan up if he's to win this, in at least the estimation of this observer at ringside. That's the end. As the two touch gloves, so this one, as was expected by a good many observers, will go the distance. The question of youth versus experience, and it appears the younger man has had the measure of the more experienced one thus far tonight. He has certainly, as we stated earlier, not been at all awed. Many observers here feeling that he had gotten in, had McGuigan over his head a little too early in his career. That has not been the case. Still pursuing, still incredibly fresh for the 15th round for a man who has never been this distance. Pedroza knocked down in the 7th, nearly down in the 9th, nearly down in the 13th. McGuigan never close to going down. About a minute and 45 seconds remaining in the fight. Pedroza still looking to tie him up, and that's not going to do him any good right now. Heralded duel has turned out to be a very good one in London. Barry McGuigan and Eusebio Pedroza. with McGuigan very likely on the verge of unseating the longest reigning current champion in boxing. Seconds left in the 15th and final round. McGuigan still moving, still active, bobbing and weaving and boxing and looking for the opening. Never showing signs of wavering, tiring. A great performance by the young Irishman tonight. Pedroza holding on, and maybe in the waning seconds of holding on to a title. And this one comes to an end. This crowd absolutely erupts. Eusebio Pedroza, unbeaten for the last 9 years. The champion for 7, and there is, well, according to the crowd anyway, the new champion. Still, of course, to be officially determined, but up on the shoulders goes Barry McGuigan, the symbol of Irish unity, the 24-year-old from Clone. Pedroza. Decision and wrests the crown from Eusebio Pedroza. Let's get a word with Barry McGuigan. A sensational performance. Did you think you could possibly dominate the fight the way you did?
No, I didn't think I could dominate the way I did. This man here has guided me from the word go. Said I could dominate it, and what he said was right. And I'm so delighted, honest to God. I'm so delighted. I dedicate this fight to the young kid that died when he fought me in 1982. And I want to say that it just wasn't an ordinary fight that beat him. It was the world champion.
Well, there was no question about it. The way you dominated this fight, was there any way in your mind beforehand you thought you'd be able to control the tempo of the fight the way you did and be as fresh as you were all the way through?
I didn't think so, no. I was very surprised at the pace of the fight, but I was surprised that he was so difficult to hit. I tried so hard throughout the fight and I couldn't land clean punches on him. But I'm feeling so great now, and I could go another 15 rounds. I really mean that. I feel so terrific. I feel absolutely brilliant. I tried to pace him out of it in the last round because he was so tricky and hard to hit. I tried to outbox him and I tried to make him look bad and then catch him with counters. But I put him down, I think, a couple of times, twice throughout the fight. And I want to congratulate my trainer, my manager, everybody. I love this man here. He's treated me so well. I'd like to thank ABC for coming over and giving the American public the chance to see me.
Well, you gave everybody a great show. Congratulations.
Very much indeed.
Okay.
And listen, I'd like to say before I go, hello to the Toronto Supporters Club in Canada. Good on you, boys. Good on you.
Okay, Barry McGuigan winning a unanimous decision. Just a great performance.
Sanchez and Nelson as the comparisons. notice that there's 2 inches difference in height. Sanchez is 2 inches taller, but he only has a half-inch difference in reach, a half-inch advantage in reach, I should say. 67.5 to 67. Sanchez 23, Nelson 24, and both fighters in that corner very, very ready to go. And our ring announcer, Ed Derian, is all set, and he's ready to go. Let's go, Eddie.
Ladies and gentlemen, this evening's scheduled 15-round World Boxing Council Featherweight Championship bout is being presented live by Don King Sports and Entertainment Network Incorporated and is being promoted by Don King Productions. Is approved and sanctioned by both the New York State Athletic Commission and the World Boxing Council. Mr. Jose Suleiman, President. This evening, the World Boxing Council is being supervised. The man in charge, Jean-Guy Prescott. The chairman of the New York State Athletic Commission, Mr. Jack M. Prenderville. The physicians in attendance at ringside this evening, the Assistant Medical Director, Dr. Frank Ford, along with Drs. Earl Shaw, Daniel Manfredi, and Peter J. Wilk. The judges for this title bout, Al Reed, Tony Castellano, and Al Ayala.
Artie Ayala.
The timekeeper in the bell is Fred Abbatello. Counting for the knockdown seconds, alternate referee Vinnie Ferguson. In the ring at this time, the man in charge of the scheduled 15-round World Boxing Council Featherweight Championship, referee Tony Perez. And now, boxing fans, introducing the principals. First, in the blue corner, wearing the yellow trunks with the red and green trim, he is weighing in at an even 124 pounds. He is undefeated in 13 professional bouts with 10 knockouts. He is the Commonwealth champion from Accra, Ghana, Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Azumah Nelson.
Almost sounded like a knockout.
And his opponent in the red corner, wearing the red trunks with the white trim, he is weighing in at an even 126 pounds. This young man has a record of 42 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw with 30 knockouts. From Mexico City, Mexico, the World Boxing Council Featherweight Champion, here is Salvador Sanchez.
Salvador Sanchez. And we finally get around to the fight. Sanchez will be wearing red trunks, and Azumah Nelson will be wearing the gold trunks. The WBC rules will prevail in this bout. 10-point must system. The winner of the round gets 10 points, and the loser proportionately less. 3 knockouts in any round does not count. It has been waived. WBC rules do not allow for 3 knockdown count. 3 judges, the referee does not score the fight. 3 judges, and they are Al Reed, Tony Castellano, and Artie Ayala. And here we go. Sanchez in red. The open left hook by Azumah Nelson. Just caught the chin off, right off the tip of the chin off. Sanchez. Nelson is first time here, first time in Madison Square Garden for Salvador Sanchez also. We'll have to take a look at Nelson. We've never seen him. And we'll have to analyze him for you. I'll get the expert to do that for you, Larry Holmes.
Well, it looked like Nelson can punch a little bit, pointing to his record. And he just caught Sanchez with 2 good left hooks, but didn't seem to bother Sanchez, but still, we have to see.
Sanchez just biding his time, taking his time. He doesn't very, very seldom will not punch a close combination most of the distance. I don't know whether that means anything or not, Larry.
Yeah, it don't really mean anything. Sanchez always comes to fight. He always prepares himself. But as you can see, Nelson is here to fight too. He just landed another left hook and he keeps his hands up and don't show no fear of Sanchez.
Right, he's forcing the fight. He's doing the leading. Right hand by Azumah Nelson. That right hand looks dangerous, Larry.
Looks very
hand of Azumah Nelson.
And we got a fight here because Nelson shows no fear.
That's right, he came to fight. Nelson at 124 and Sanchez 126.
I'm going to wonder if experience is going to take effect on Nelson because Sanchez has the most experience. Nelson only has 13 fights. The 10 of it goes about knockout. But he's fighting well.
Left and right. To the head by Azumah Nelson, and he gives it a little Muhammad Ali in there. A little hot dogging going on by Nelson.
Well, a little bit of showboat is good, but make sure you're way ahead. This is the Belgian race.
That's right, Larry. Make sure you're comfortable.
That's right. Especially
right hand again by Nelson. He's been getting that right hand across real good, and he's been taking the play away from Sanchez right from the start. 30 seconds remain in the round. Round one.
It's still early yet, John. This is only the first round.
That's right. It's a long way to go. 15 rounds. 10 seconds.
Very interesting first round for Nelson.
That's the end of round one. We're in round two. That's Azumah Nelson in the yellow trunks. Salvador Sanchez, the champion, in the red for the WBC Featherweight Championship of the World. The referee is Tony Perez. And that's strictly what he is, a referee. He does not score the bout. There are 3 judges. Those are WBC rules. Personally, I think they're good rules. Nelson found the mark a number of times in the first round with the right hand. Let's see if he continues to throw it.
What I've noticed about Nelson is waiting for Sanchez to punch and he counters. And this is the same thing that we seen earlier in the fight.
Right.
But in fight defense, you always got to be first. Don't wait for the counter because the more you wait to get hit.
No, left hook by Nelson. Nelson is a pretty good fighter. We have never seen him, as we said. But he's a pretty good fighter. He's a warrior. He wants to fight. He didn't come here to just go through 15 rounds, Larry.
No, he didn't, but he took a good right hand by Sanchez, and he can't take too many of those because we know that Sanchez can't punch.
It's the combinations, Larry. Excuse me. The combinations that Nelson has to watch out for because Sanchez is a master at that. From in close, he throws a combination to the head. It's devastating.
Nelson is throwing, but he's trying to throw fast punches and he's crossing his hands up.
Fans here in the garden are singing. They're singing a Mexican song, and that's some significance, I'm sure, for Salvador Sanchez.
Nelson is here to fight. He's throwing funny punches, John.
Yes, he is. And it's the right hand that he's really counting on, Larry.
He looks very strong. Nelson looks very strong and not even worrying about Sanchez throwing the punches.
You are so right. He is a very confident fighter. He has no fear in him. Sanchez is a great, great fighter. He has no fear in him.
Good right hand by Nelson that time again, Johnny.
He's leading the fight. Larry, he's forcing the fight. Reaching. Sanchez is reaching.
showing he needs to bring on this in the second round. A good 2 rounds.
Second round goes. That 13 fights, Larry. The following program is protected by copyright and any use, distribution, exhibition, recording, or reproduction without the express permission of non-team sports and entertainment network will constitute piracy, copyright infringement, and unfair competition, and will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. We're going to take another look at the action in that last round, Larry. That's Nelson on the left. Smart move, he hit, got away.
As you notice, Nelson gets trying to counter. Every time Sanchez does something, he does something also.
Well, we haven't seen Nelson until tonight, but he's shown me a few things in these first 2 rounds, and he knows what it's all about, Larry. He's got to get lucky. He's got to get lucky, and he's got to get lucky with that right hand.
I think he got to get lucky earlier, John, because we know that Sanchez can do 15 rounds, and again, we never watched nothing. We know that he's been knocking guys out, and we haven't seen him here in America.
Most of his fights were in Africa. He had one fight in this country at Bakersfield, California, but he also fought here as an amateur in the World Cup. He lost. He won a bronze medal.
But he looks very, very strong.
Strong for his size.
Yeah,
right. Very strong.
He landed a good right hand with Sanchez.
He took him right before that, Larry. He took it and came right back over him with his own.
They have a fight here tonight in Madison Square Garden.
2 minutes to go in the round, round 2.
Again, Don King put on a good show. At least Sanchez didn't have just a walkover. He put on a good show.
Every fight has been good. Nelson stopped for a moment, backed up and just smiled at Sanchez. Sanchez is not taking the lead, Larry. He's not forcing the fight, which is unusual for him.
Well, I think Sanchez is trying to figure him out because Nelson is countering. Every time Sanchez goes to punch, Nelson counters, and Sanchez trying to offset it somehow by moving and staying back and waiting.
Of course, Sanchez has never seen him before. He's never seen a film of him even. So he really doesn't know as much about him, any more about him than we do. So he's probably taking doing a little homework right now.
Yes, Sanchez haven't watched it, so that do hurt. It's no help to Sanchez. Watching Nelson on the little tape that we just watched. Nelson on the little tape that we just watched, he really comes out fighting.
Yes, he does. Look at the smile on his face. He's continuously smiling.
And sometimes that's a little bit of the false confidence or
30 seconds. 30 seconds left in the round. Seconds left in the round. Sanchez got 2 good right hands in, both on the chin. That's the end of the round. With round 4, Azumah Nelson in yellow, Salvador Sanchez in red. 4th round of a 15-round bout for the WBC World Featherweight title. A good night, a good show, and every fight has been good, real good. He has no respect for Sanchez, none at all.
None at all. Sanchez is waiting, trying to figure Nelson out. Nelson not giving him the chance to fill him out. He's throwing everything. He wants this title, John.
Yes, he does. And Sanchez doesn't seem to be able to get his rhythm going, Larry.
No, because this guy here is throwing all kinds of punches, having a good time out there. And if he can have a good time like this for 15 rounds, we might have a new champion here at Madison Square Garden tonight.
2 minutes to go, round 4. Salvador Sanchez, 144, lost only 1. He has 1 draw. He has 30 knockouts, 44 wins, include 34 knockouts. Azumah Nelson, 13 wins and no losses, undefeated. He's got 10 knockouts. They're going to slug it out, Larry. This kid wants to slug.
Yes, he's trying to trap Sanchez way into his slugging. Maybe this kid thinks he's stronger and can punch harder than Sanchez. With the 10 knockouts that he has, I'm sure that he's overwhelmed with confidence.
And I'm sure that the 10 knockouts were not against the opponent's quality of Sanchez.
No way. You know how those fighters are over there. But they're the best in their country. And the way he's fighting, he's trying to prove that he's the best in all countries.
He said that the other day at the press conference. He wants to win this for himself and for his country. It's going to be an awful lot to his country. 6 world champions came out of Africa. He wants to be the 7th. What a good right hand. He caught Sanchez up against the ropes. John Hayes having the right hand again of Sanchez. Sanchez started with that right hand and came back with his own right. Nelson is something else.
He's fighting to get off the title. Seems like Nelson comes on at the end of the round. He knows when the seconds is up and he comes on the last 30 seconds.
He has made up his mind. He's going to knock out Sanchez or he's going to get knocked out.
Good body punch to come to hit Sanchez with. Throwing everything. He's here to fight. Ready punches.
Nelson digging to the body, throwing the right to the head. Okay, that's the end of the 4th round. Round 5, and Nelson came out of his corner much too early. Tony Perez had to chase him back. Can't come out of the corner until the bell rings. That's the rule. Salvador Sanchez in red, Azumah Nelson in yellow, and this is really a fight. Nobody knew anything about Azumah Nelson until he started to fight. Now we know something about him. He's a good defensive fighter. He's got a pretty good punch, and he's a warrior right down to his toes.
Nelson is throwing 4 or 5 punches at a time, and Sanchez only throwing 1, trying to set up a good shot. But Nelson's not letting him
Right hand. Good right hand by Nelson.
A fighter only can take so many right hands like that, and then it starts to weaken. I want to know and want to see how much Nelson going to have left to take Sanchez out, or if he's able to. Also, if you notice, John, Nelson is throwing a lot of good body punches. Sanchez is starting to change expression I haven't seen throughout his fight.
I want to tell you something, Larry. Sanchez is confused.
Yes, he is.
He doesn't know what to make out of this kid. I don't think he expected this much in front of him.
No, he didn't. But Sanchez is still calm and confident. He's fighting like a champion, but he's drawing blows by standing in there taking punches. In close, you should always move your hand.
He took the fight on short notice, Larry, also, as Nelson did.
Yes, he did. Sanchez, the opponent pulled out on him.
He must have been ready. He must have been training.
You guys in Africa, they stay in shape. They got to stay in shape. This is their way out. Boxing. It's an opportunity for them. They want to take advantage of it.
champion, Salvador Sanchez, in his corner. I believe that he's a little confused. I don't think he knows how to figure out Azumah Nelson. I think that in the first couple of rounds he figured he'd figure him out in the round of two, but he didn't do it. We're going to take another look at some of the action in the last round.
He got an uppercut. Traded uppercut that time. Nelson throws more than one punch. And this is what he got. Sanchez cannot overcome that.
And his defense is good, Larry. He moves in. He's taking a lot of the offense away from Sanchez by moving in. Getting ready for round 6. It's a 15-round bout for the WBC World Featherweight Championship. And here we go. The referee is Tony Perez. Sanchez in red, Nelson in yellow.
So far, Tony Perez don't have nothing to do but walk around and watch the action.
That's right. That's been pretty much the case all night long. The fights have been that good.
Yeah.
People who raise the fighters in that clinching or holding.
Nelson got hit with a good left hook by Sanchez. That knocked him off balance a little bit. Then look hurt.
Well, you find out he can take a punch, too. He took one earlier, too. A good right hand by Sanchez, but he took it. Rolled right over and came back.
Nelson a little awkward for Sanchez, and this is what giving Sanchez that problem. But he's doing the right thing. He's using that jab and he's circling him. And this is what he got to do instead of fighting him.
I'll tell you what, Larry, win or lose this fight, Nelson has only had 13 fights. He go a long way in this business if he stays in it.
Yes, he would. But
Look at him fight with only 13 fights against a man like Sanchez.
you can tell he wants this fight. He wants to be a fighter because his father's a millionaire, so that means he don't have to fight.
Sanchez has one goal. He wants to beat Alexis Arguello. He said he wanted to beat 3 champions. He's beaten 2 of them. He's beaten Eddie Red Lopez, and he's beaten Alfredo Gomez, and now he wants Alexis Arguello. Pretty big order.
Sanchez is starting to do the right thing now. He's on the outside. He's sticking the jab, moving, circling, confusing him, and getting him to get off his pattern. This is what you got to do when you got a fighter that wants to fight. Got hit with a left hook, Sanchez has. Sanchez can't fight this kid. But the boxing, get out of the corner. It's a boxing.
1 minute to go in round 6.
Nelson seems like he don't have a very good balance, but what makes up for that is determination. He just got hit with a couple left jabs by Sanchez.
He stopped throwing punches, Larry, that's why. Oh, he caught Sanchez with a good right hand.
Maybe start throwing punches a little bit to catch his wind. But you cannot stop with a fighter like Sanchez. This is a good fight.
That's the end of round 6. Sanchez in his corner. Only Don King could bring.
Makes boxing so exciting.
Great atmosphere. Okay, it's a great night here at Madison Square Garden as we go into round number 7. Azumah Nelson has been a pleasant surprise. Nobody knew because nobody had seen him before. But he is really a fine young man, a fine boxer. Left hook. And he's in trouble. He's got him in trouble. A solid left hook. And Azumah Nelson's in trouble.
Nelson will try to fight out of this. He's hurt, but he's going to try to fight out. So Sanchez got to go.
He's got that smile on his face. It comes up to 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and he took the standing 8 count. The mandatory 8 count. Here we go. 2 left hooks put him down. The second one did it. The first one was a devastating left hook. The second one, not so hard, but enough to put him down.
Sanchez still got to be careful because this guy's still strong, and he throws punches when he hurt. So Sanchez got to be careful because he can get caught with one. Sanchez can take him out because Nelson is now standing straight up. All they have to do is box, set him up in the right-handed combo, just like that one.
We don't know how much that took out of him, Larry. He might be weak now. He might have taken quite a bit out of it.
Yes, it did, but there's no sense in you gambling when you got the winning hand.
Sanchez is smart. He's taking his time.
Nelson is standing up. He's not down in that crouch anymore, and Sanchez to be able to hit him, but not to get into the trade with him. They still have a lot of time for Sanchez to set him up, to take him out.
There is just about 1 minute left in the round. Sanchez is playing it smart. He's not over anxious. But he's giving Nelson plenty of time to recuperate from that knockdown.
As you see, Nelson is still going for broke all the way to the end.
He's still moving forward. 30 seconds.
Good left hook by Nelson. Nelson will get a minute rest to clear his head.
Let him come back. He threw that right hand with a lot of power. The round is over. The seventh round is over. And Nelson went to a neutral corner instead of his own corner, so he may not be all that clear, Larry.
No, he's not clear, but he got a minute in this round to be able to get his senses back and go out there and be careful and start all over like he did from the beginning.
We're going to look at that again, Larry, and we're going to see the first left hook, the one that stung him.
What Nelson did, he had his hands down and
almost went down from that.
And made a move, and Sanchez stepped in with a left hook.
And here's the one he went down with. It wasn't all that big as the first one, but it was big enough to do it. It was a short left hook.
Yes, it was. It was a very good left hook. Sanchez, we know, can punch.
Sanchez has got to have a lot of confidence now as we get ready for the 8th round. Here we go. Sanchez even has a different look on his face, Larry.
He looks like the old Sanchez.
He's got that I got you look on his face. Left hook again. And he wobbled, and with it, and he's ready to go. His legs are in pretty bad shape. Any kind of a solid punch now could put him down. Sanchez, the veteran, just takes it easy. He's taking his time.
Yes, that's what Sanchez has to do. He has to take his time because Nelson, once he gets hurt, he throws a flurry of punches, and Sanchez don't want to get caught with one.
Punches are loafing punches now, Larry, of Nelson.
Myself coming into this fight not knowing too much of Nelson, too much about Nelson, I predicted the 6th round.
6? You're a typical fighter.
Yeah. That's why fighters can't judge or referee good.
Jack Dempsey, one of the greatest fighters ever in the history of the world, right? Never picked a winner, Larry. He used to brag about the fact he never picked a winner.
Never picked a winner. Nelson was shook up that time with that right hand.
Yes.
Don King put on a good show right here in Madison Square Garden, putting these guys together. This is what boxing needs. Good fight, competitive fight.
They sure gave it to him tonight.
Sanchez shows a lot more confidence now.
The old pro, Larry, just takes his time. You know as the time will come.
Like I said, you make it drunk before you money. Nelson still fight back game. Very, very strong, determined fighter. But I think he's outclassed by Sanchez.
He experiences that, Larry. He experiences that in show.
Yes, he does.
They had 13 fights. As against the champions, 46 fights.
And a champion who's been in there with everybody there to be in there with.
He has seen the hitters.
People will put Sanchez all the way, hollering Sanchez in the back. They're really enthused with his boxing skill.
It's the end of the round. You're right, Larry. As I said earlier, there's a lot of Latin fans here in New York. As we look into the corner now, Salvador Sanchez. No talk going on in the corner at all. I guess they have very little to say to him. He knows what he has to do, and he knows how to fight. I don't think he's making any mistakes, so no need for any chatter, I guess, in the corner. Somebody is now whispering a few words of wisdom from his ears.
I think the guy on the outside is calling all the shots because every now and then I see Sanchez out of here.
There's a little concern over at Nelson's corner. Getting ready now for round 9. Nelson up off his stool early, and the champion just sits there, waits for the bell. That's experience again. Take advantage of every moment they give you. There in round 9. The early part of the fight, it was all Azumah Nelson, but the champion has come on.
This is what I'm saying that Sanchez has to do, and this is what he's doing again, is boxing it, not getting into no wars.
They'll take it on, and he wobbled a little bit. And left hook of Sanchez is very, very, very powerful.
Sanchez is getting the war with him and beating him to the punch, and this is why the left hook is landing.
You start looking for that left hook, Larry, which with the right, he can do just as much damage with that.
Because they're starting to trade punching, and Nelson's hands are down, and Sanchez is beating him to him. It makes Sanchez feel that Nelson can't hurt him either. That's why he's willing to trade.
A little less than 2 minutes left. 9. We hope you're enjoying the night, and we hope you're enjoying the fights. Don King Sports and Entertainment Network, and here comes Nelson again. He's going for 4th right now. This is the Sanchez.
These guys are fighting.
This is what he did not do in the early round.
Sanchez is beating him to the punch. Blood is starting to come out of Nelson's mouth. He's hurt, but he still fights. A lot of guts, a lot of determination Nelson is showing because he's taking a banging right about now. Sanchez could not even change the expression on his face.
Sanchez doing a methodical job on Nelson. Boxing beautifully. Gets within range, he hits him with that left hook. And he's wobbled him any number of times with that punch. He's wearing him down. He's wearing him down.
Yes, he is. His body shots and everything starting to take their toll now.
went to the wrong corner. He went to Sanchez's corner this time. Got to get a help there. And that's Mickey Duck in the corner of Azumah Nelson hollering into his face. I can't see him now. He's blocked out by the other second.
You know, John, that's kind of embarrassing when you're going to the wrong corner. I've done that a couple of times, even though I wasn't hurt. And Nelson don't have to be hurt and still get his scenery off and go to the wrong corner.
We're going to take another look at the replay here, Larry. Sanchez will sting Nelson right here. Watch for it. Come up out of the crouch and caught him with the left hook, and his legs went wobbly again. So that left hook has really been working.
That's what Sanchez has going, and you got to use it a little more.
Fighters. We got hand to the body by Nelson, and we get ready now. We're in the 10th round. We're in the 10th round. It's a 15-round fight, and it's for the WBC Featherweight Championship of the world. And we're at Madison Square Garden with Larry Holmes, the heavyweight champion of the world. I'm John Campbell. Happy to be with you.
This is one good fight, John. This is what people really like.
Nobody thought that Nelson would be here in round number 10, did they, Larry?
And I'm guilty of that one. I'm guilty to that fact that I thought Sanchez would have him out of there by now.
Just goes to show you got to take a look at the goods before you buy it, right?
That's right. But I think Don King bought a good fight here, a good prospect in Nelson.
Nothing new with Don King.
Nothing new. Don't see him. He's surprised me.
I don't remember when he ever had a bet.
Sanchez is now just taking the punches off. They're not really landing like they were in the earlier rounds. He's just letting Nelson throw the punches, just picking them off, waiting for a shot of his own. Nelson still presses the action all the way. Sanchez seems like he's just taking a breathe, getting himself back together to land a good punch.
It's a tribute to Azumah Nelson that he's here in the 10th round against a great champion like Sanchez with only 13 fights under his belt, and here he is fighting his heart out. Never quit, not for one moment.
Sanchez do not look bad at all, considering the punches that he took.
Sanchez, I don't think it'll go 15 rounds, but I'll tell you something, Larry. In tribute to this young man, I would like to see it go 15 rounds.
Yes, I would too. But this is championship territory now, and we know that Sanchez has been there. So this is where the champions comes out and the challenger stays in.
The 10th to the 15th is championship territory, huh?
That's right.
Okay. All right, so here's the big test for Azumah Nelson. He's fresh looking. He's up off his stool, ready to go. He's got a heart bigger than his body, this kid.
Yes, he does.
round 11. Tony Perez is the referee. Good right hand by Sanchez. This is Sanchez's first time in Madison Square Garden. He had never fought here before. He's always said that he wanted to fight here, and now he's realized that dream. His next one is to beat Arguello if he gets a shot at him. I don't think that's going to happen, Larry, because I think Arguello is going to move up in weight.
Well, World's very efficient, and I feel that if he puts a price, he will take it. I like to mention that I think it's everybody's dream to fight in the Madison.
That's what they all say. We used to have a theater here in New York called the Palace, and all the vaudevillians and all the acts used to want to play in that. It's pretty much the same idea. Look at Nelson, come on. He caught Sanchez with 3 or 4 left hooks, and he's forcing the fight. He's pushing Sanchez up against the ropes, looking to knock him out. I don't know how much strength he's got left in his body, whether he has enough to do something like that or not, but he's certainly trying.
One thing he's doing, he's really trying. He's giving all he's got. He knows this is his chance that he wanted.
30 seconds left in the round 11.
Sanchez is starting to take punches now.
Left jab, straight down the nose of Zona Nelson.
That punch was knocked him off balance, but this didn't land. Sanchez got hurt with a left hook. Sanchez looks hurt. This kid is hurt now.
He is.
This kid is hurting Sanchez.
Round is over. That's the end of the round.
We got to fight here, John.
I want to tell you something. They ought to carry that kid through the streets tonight, Larry. That Nelson. He deserves a lot of credit. That's Salvador Sanchez we're watching in the corner. He got hurt, as Larry told you, with a left hook toward the end of that last round, round 11. Now we'll take another look at it. This is with the right hand. That's Rush Nelson now. Nelson in the yellow trunks.
Seemed like Nelson just got a whole new bunch of energy, just kept throwing punches. He was very determined.
They caught him with a pretty good right hand. That's the one that stung him. Just that last big punch was a right hand that stung Salvador Sanchez. Getting ready for round 12 now, and Nelson out of the corner again early. Here we go. Sanchez has to be a little bothered right now. He got stung pretty bad in that last round. Nelson starts out this round with a right hand lead that lands.
Left hook that landed too, John. If you notice, Nelson is a gentleman. He touches gloves before he fights. I'll be a gentleman out there fight. He's way back on top of Sanchez, forcing action again.
Championship territory now, the 10th to the 15th round. It's the 12th round, Larry. And he looks pretty fresh.
punch Nelson throws and says, hey, I want your title.
Sanchez's corner. He slipped in the corner, but he caught a right hand as he tried to get out. Frank Wells tells Sanchez, corner, clean it up.
They should clean it up. I think his corner should see it and clean it up because Sanchez is hanging in the corner.
The pressure is on by Nelson. The end of the round, a wild swing round.
How do you see the fight? I see the fight pretty even now.
I do too, Larry. I do too. You know, you get points on effort and scoring, and he's scoring. He had a couple of bad times during the fight, but he's scoring. This kid is landing a lot of punches and building up points. I'd have to say the fight is pretty even right now. Okay, here we go with round 13.
Championship territory, but they both fight like champions. Sanchez is a champion here, and Nelson is the champion over there. Sanchez came out with two good punches.
He lost his balance. That was a trick and lost his balance.
Sanchez confused again. Sanchez really doesn't know what to make out of this guy.
Sanchez starting to be worried, look worried. Now his arm is not his arm is starting to get heavy.
He's saying to himself, this guy would have been out of here a long time ago, and he's still hitting me.
Sanchez looks a little tired, John.
Yeah.
He's taking a lot of shots now. Good right hand.
He's staggering him with it.
Yes.
He's staggering him with it. Right hand by Nelson. Another right hand by Nelson. Nelson really coming on now. 30 seconds left in the round.
Stop action, John. By Sanchez, right hand by Sanchez. 2 seconds ago, they're still fighting.
Oh, almost went down. Almost went down again from the left hook. Well,
this is what the Don King Sports and Entertainment Network is going to produce month after month, Larry, it's got to be great, right?
It's got to be, John, and I want the opportunity to put on the show right here, too.
We're going to take another look at that shot just at the bell. There it is. He almost went down from it.
That seemed to be Sanchez's effective weapon, that left hook.
Well, we promised you an exciting night, and I think you'll agree with us that you're getting one. Salvador Sanchez doesn't look too excited.
I gave that last round to Nelson.
Sorry, Larry.
I said I gave that last round there to Nelson on the early lead.
Okay, we're in round 14. It's a 15-round fight. One more round after this. For the World Featherweight Championship. The champion is Sanchez. The challenger is Nelson. And what a challenger.
Sticking that jab in there real good. He hit with 3 good jabs in the right hand. Now he's starting to tee off. He must have told Sanchez he got to go at him and take this guy out of here.
10 minutes left in the round 14.
The blood still pours out of Nelson's nose. He's been doing that all night, but don't feel like it affected him too much. You got Sanchez on the ropes right up above us, John, and Jake's uppercut in there.
There's chasing Sanchez again.
Chasing Sanchez.
Covering with jabs and right hands, and now he's chasing him again.
John, I'm excited, and you have to excuse me if I talk a little over you, but I'm just excited.
Hey, that's what I want you to be, Larry. You're the expert here. Nelson is tired.
That didn't look like no punch. He hit him with a punch. I think he just lost his balance.
15 rounds is getting to him now, Larry. That championship territory is getting to him a little bit.
Yes, it is. He's reaching for punches, but he still shows that determination.
Neither fighter has suffered any cuts, no bruises. Good, clean fight all the way through, and a good fight. 30 seconds left in round 14.
Sanchez can take you out in the last round, so you still have to be careful.
That's right. He can take you out at any moment.
Yeah.
The kid is tired now. Look at him come on again. That's the end of the round. He's still ready to go like Sanchez. What a fighter he is. His legs are practically gone. He fell off his stool. He's a very, very tired fighter. He's got 3 minutes to go. Next fight, the Don King Sports and Entertainment Network, the WBC Super Bantamweight Championship, Wilfredo Gomez against Roberto Ribaldino. That's August the 18th, live from Puerto Rico. In Puerto Rico, Wilfredo Gomez against Roberto Ribaldino. Nelson moving moved out of the corner. Tony Perez had to hold him back. This is the 15th and final round, and it's been a whale of a fight right from the start.
I'm expecting a lot of action out of this round here out of Nelson because this is it for him. I feel that Sanchez is head on the scorecard, and he's going to go for broke, which he's going.
I'm sure that this kid has captured the hearts of all the boxing fans in New York who are seeing him for the first time. Over the right hand, almost put him down. Another right hand. This kid just refuses to get down. His legs are perfectly down. He is very, very tired. 2 minutes and 10 seconds left in the round. Long way to go. Look at him fight back. Look at him try to fight back.
Nothing. Right jaw is really swollen. I don't know if it's broke or what. It looks like it's swollen.
Yes, it is. Very swollen. There's blood coming out of his mouth, Larry, as you said earlier.
And he got his mouth open, so you know it's possible that he can have his jaw broke.
That's right.
He's hurt again, but he's still fighting.
Really hurt him. Trying to keep from going down. He's down. Nelson is down. He's up on his feet now. He'll take the standing 8 count. Mandatory 8 count. 7, 8. And he's letting it continue. 1 minute, 20 seconds left in the round. The final round.
He's hurt, John. I think the ref will stop
He's
it.
hurt badly.
He's hurt. But we know
What do I do to stop the fight? Just great, Tony. Just great. And Mr. Azumah Nelson, I salute you like I have never saluted a fighter in my life. You are a very, very fine boxer. And I believe, Larry, he's pretty badly hurt.
Yep, he was hurt. That's what we said earlier. Sanchez known to knock you out in the last round, so you have to be careful at all times.
Could be a broken jaw. That jaw is very swollen. There's blood coming out of his mouth. And that blood was in his mouth for quite a few rounds. Sanchez pulled it out. Well, everybody here at Madison Square Garden very, very excited. They had a good night. As we left Sanchez in the corner. For the first time tonight, he's got a smile on his face. And we'll take another look at the knockdown. Nelson had nothing left at all at this point in the fight. He's just catching punches and trying to fight back, trying to keep from going down.
We got here with flurries of punch. Ref did a good job of stopping.
Stops this bout at 1 minute and 49 seconds of the 15th round, and a winner by TKO and still the World Boxing Council featherweight champion, Salvador Sanchez.
Sanchez defends his title successfully against